Great. Correct. Good evening, students. I hope that yesterday we had started off with the word problems of linear equation in two variables. So I assume that each one of you have completed the solving of the equations that we had discussed in yesterday's word problem. All right. So today we'll continue. No issues. So today we will continue with the word problems. All right. So moving towards the first word problem for today, students. Practice set 1.5, main question number 5. Now, students, I want every one of you to read the question. Two type of boxes, A, B, are to be placed in a truck having capacity of 10 tons. When 150 boxes of type A and 100 boxes of type B are loaded in the truck, it weighs 10 tons. But when 260 boxes of type A are loaded in the truck, it can still accommodate 40 boxes of type B so that it is fully loaded. To find the weight of each type of box. Students, I want every one of you to look at the last statement of the question. The last statement of the question says, find the weight of each type of box. While reading the question in the first line itself, students, we came to know that the question here involves two types of boxes. One is box A and the other one is box B. तो क्वेश्चन हमें यहां पर ये बोल रहा है कि जो टाइप ए वाले बॉक्सेस है उसका एक बॉक्स का वेट कितना है, एंड टाइप बी वाले जो बॉक्सेस है उसके एक बॉक्स का वेट कितना है. तो वी हैव बीन आस्क्ड टू थिंग्स टू फाइंड. So in that case, students, we'll assume one of them as x and the other one as y. So the first assumption statement would be, students, let the weight of one box of type A be x kg. मतलब type A वाले का एक बॉक्स का weight we are assuming it as x kg, and let the weight of one box of type B be y kg. मतलब type B वाले का एक बॉक्स का weight we are assuming it as y kg. Now we need to frame the two equations based on the condition given in the question. Now students, before that, I want every one of you to look at this statement very carefully. In a truck having capacity of 10 tons. So the question here involves a truck having capacity of 10 tons. Students, if you look at the first assumption statement, we have considered x kg, y kg. So the unit of weight that we have considered is kg. And here the capacity of the truck is given in terms of tons. So we need to keep only one unit throughout the sum. So what we'll do is we'll convert this tons into kg. In that case, students, to convert this 10 tons into kg, we just have to multiply it by 1000. Once again, I repeat, to convert tons into kg, just multiply it by 1000. So in that case, students, 10 tons would be equal to 10 into 1000, which will give us 10,000 kg. I hope so. This conversion is clear to everyone. Now, let us proceed towards the first condition. Now, for the first condition, let us prepare a small table. Table give it the following headings: type of box. And I think we are very well aware there are two type of boxes in this sum that we are dealing with. That is type A and type B. Next, weight of one box. Next, number of boxes. And finally, the total weight. This will help us to easily frame the equation based on the condition given in the question. Now, students, look at the next heading, the second heading which is there in the table, weight of one box. Now that we are very well aware कि A type वाले box का एक box का weight is how much kg? X kg. All right. B type वाले boxes का weight of one box, we have assumed it is how many kg? Y kg. All right. Moving further. Now let us focus on the first condition, students. Now in the first condition, they have mentioned that there are 150 boxes of type A. So type A के लिए the number of boxes is 150, and there are 100 boxes of type B. मतलब type B के boxes के लिए there are number of boxes कितने हैं? 100. I hope so this condition is clear. Now moving further, students. Now tell me, students, A type वालों का एक box का weight is x kg. तो अगर एक बॉक्स का वेट इज x kg, तो कैन आई से फॉर टू बॉक्सेस इट विल बी 2x, थ्री बॉक्सेस इट विल बी 3x, फाइव बॉक्सेस द वेट वुड बी 5x. तो फॉर 150 boxes the weight would be 150x. So the total weight of 150 boxes of type A is nothing but 150x kg. And at the same time, students, weight of one box of type B is y kg. So now there are 100 boxes of type B. So what would be the total weight? Absolutely correct, 100y. I hope so. This table is quite clear to each and every student. Now students, the total weight considering both the type of boxes, that is A as well as B, would be 150x plus 100y. But the condition says that the total weight is 10 tons. We are not going to consider the unit tons here. We are going to consider the unit kg. So we have already converted that 10 tons is equivalent to what? 10,000 kg. So the total weight according to the first condition, including all the boxes of type A as well as type B, is equal to 10,000 kg. So we get the first equation here, students, that is 150x plus 100y is equal to 10,000. Now, students, in this equation, if you look at all the numbers very carefully, 150, 100, and 10,000. Now, all these numbers, they are divisible by 50. So to make the equation simpler, students, let us divide throughout by 50. That is dividing each term by 50. Now, students, if I divide each term by 50, so 150 divided by 50 will give me 3x plus sign as it is. 100y divided by 50 will give me 2y is equal to 10,000 divided by 50 will give me 200. So with this, I get my first equation. Students, check whether this equation is present in its basic form. Yes, alphabet wale is on left hand side and the constant is on right hand side. So we'll number this equation as equation number 1. I hope so. According to the first condition, the formation of the first equation is clear to each and every student. Now, students, if you have understood the formation of the first equation, now the second condition is exactly the same. So let us see how are we going to frame the second equation based on the second condition given in the question. So now, students, as per the second condition, we are going to take the help of the same table where type of boxes have been mentioned, that is A and B. Weight of one box of type A is x kg. Weight of one box of type B is y kg. Now, considering the number of boxes given in the second condition, students, second condition includes 260 boxes of type A. So type AK, there are 260 boxes and 40 boxes of type B. So type BK, there are 40 boxes. Now, students, again, if there are 260 boxes of type A और एक box का weight है x kg, तो what will be the total weight of A type of boxes? Perfect, 260x. Similarly, there are 40 boxes of type B. Type B के एक box का weight है y kg, तो what will be the total weight of B type of boxes? Very good, 40y. So now, students, according to the second condition, they say that when this condition is applicable, the truck is fully loaded. When the truck is fully loaded, students, they had clearly mentioned कि भाई truck का weight का capacity कितना है? 10 tons. 10 tons is nothing but how much kg? 10,000 kg. So it means as per the second condition, जब A type के boxes के वजह से weight is 260x and B type के boxes के वजह से weight is 40y, तो the total weight in the truck is 10,000 kg. So according to the second condition, students, we get that 260x plus 40y is equal to 10,000. Now, students, look at all the three numbers very carefully: 260, 40, and 10,000. Now, all these numbers are divisible by 20. So in the next step, to make the equation simple, students, we are going to divide each term by 20. So if I divide 260 by 20, students, I'll get 13x, keeping plus sign as it is. If we divide 40y by 20, students, we'll have 2y is equal to, if we divide 10,000 by 20, students, we are left out with 500. So now, students, look at the equation. Is this equation present in its basic form? Yes, because alphabet wale hai on the left hand side and the constant is on the right hand side. So let us number this equation as equation number 2. So with this, students, we are done with the formation of both the equations. I hope so that how by understanding the conditions we have framed both the equation by taking the help of a table is quite clear to each and every student. Now, students, in examination, preparing the table is not necessary. If you can frame the equation directly by understanding the condition, that's perfectly fine. But if you are convenient by preparing the table and then framing the equation, even that is perfectly fine. All right, take care. Now, as I've already informed students, we are not going to solve the equations. Equations solve करके x और y ढूंढने का काम, the values ढूंढने का काम, that you are going to do it as assignment. So now quickly, students, what I want you to do is, first I want every one of you to copy down the table and the two lines which are there below the table. Just 2 minutes to do so, students. Your time starts now. Write down the assumption statement. Let weight be of A be x kg. Let the weight of box B be y kg. Then turns into 10,000 kg. Then write down the box and then the two lines which are given below the table. just above the table, students, just mention it as per the first condition. All right. Now, students, copy down the table and the two lines for equation number 2. Table के ऊपर once again mention as per the second condition, then copy down the table and the two lines which have been given for equation number 2. All right. Stop writing, students. Now moving towards the next sum. Practice set 1.5, question number 3. A sum carrying weightage of 3 marks, students. Now, I want every one of you to first read the question. The question says, the sum of father's age and twice the age of his son is 70. If we double the age of the father and add it to the age of his son, then the sum is 95. Find their present ages. Now, students, first of all, I want every one of you to focus on the last statement which has been given to us in the question. The last statement says, find their present ages. Now, students, their present ages. Now, if you look at the question very carefully, the question here deals with two individuals, a father and his son. इन दोनों का प्रेजेंट एजेस अभी कितना तो ईयर्स है, बट उनका प्रेजेंट एज कितना है वी आर नॉट अवेयर अबाउट इट, and that is what the question is asking us to find, that find their present ages. तो स्टूडेंट्स अगेन दो चीज ढूंढने के लिए कहा है, तो इन दैट केस we'll assume one of them as x and the other one as y. So the assumption statement would be, let the present age of father be x years and the present age of his son be y years. So as per our assumption, students, at present father is of x years and at present son is of y years. Now let us start with the first condition which has been given to us in the question. Students, as we have learned yesterday, We will read the condition part by part and frame the equation part by part. So to begin with, the condition says the sum. Students, SUM, sum. What does it stands for? Very good. Addition. All right. Father's age. Students, can you all tell me what have we assumed the present age of father as? X. That's great. So एक जगह पे आया X. Moving further. And twice, students, we had already learned yesterday. What does twice stands for? Very good. 2 into. All right. अब 2 के बाजू में bracket आया means bracket के अंदर कुछ तो आएगा. Now what is that? The age of his son. Students, can you all tell me what have we assumed the present age of son as? Y years. Perfect. तो bracket के अंदर आएगा Y. And further it has been mentioned as is 70. Tell me students, what does is stands for? Equal to. So it is equal to 70. So as per the first condition, we get the first equation, students. X plus 2y is equal to 70. Now, can you also tell me, students, is this equation present in its basic form? Yes, because alphabet wale hai on the left hand side and the constant is on the right hand side. So let us number this equation as equation number 1. Moving further towards second condition. Again, we'll read the condition part by part and frame the equation part by part. So students, now the second condition says, if we double, double is nothing but same as twice. So twice mean what do we write? Very good, 2 into. So double, so it would be 2 into. The age of father. Tell me students, what is the present age of father? X. तो bracket के अंदर आएगा X. And add it. Add तो means plus का sign. किसको add करना है? To the age of his son. Can you tell me students what, as per our assumption, what is the present age of son? Very good. Y. The sum is 95. So add करने पे they say the sum, the total is 95. What does it stands for? Equal to 95. So with this we get the second equation as per the second condition, students. 2x plus y is equal to 95. Students, check whether this equation is present in its basic form. Yes, all alphabet wale on left hand side and the constant is on right hand side. So let us number this equation as equation number 2. I hope so. Framing of both the equations with the help of the two conditions given in the question is clear to all the students. Students, exactly 2 minutes. Copy down this much portion up till the formation of second equation. And the question also, students, kindly ensure that the certain things, for example, double, underline double, uske upar likho 2 into. Dot 2 minutes, students, hurry up. 30 seconds more, students. All right. Stop writing, everyone. Now, moving towards the next word problem, students. Problem set 1, main question number 7 ka sum number 4. Okay. A sum carrying weightage of 3 marks. I want every one of you to read the question. Sum of present ages of Manish and Savita is 31. Manish's age 3 years ago was 4 times the age of Savita. Find their present ages. Students, again, I want every one of you to focus on the last statement. Last statement says, find their present ages. Their. अगर क्वेश्चन हमने ध्यान से पढ़ा था तो इन दैट केस इट इज वेरी क्लियर कि द क्वेश्चन हियर अगेन इन्वॉल्व्स टू इंडिविजुअल्स, मनीष एंड सविता. इस वक्त मनीष का प्रेजेंट एज कितना तो ईयर्स है एंड सविता का प्रेजेंट एज कितना तो ईयर्स है, बट दोनों का प्रेजेंट एजेस कितना कितना ईयर्स है वी आर नॉट अवेयर अबाउट इट, एंड दैट इज व्हाट द क्वेश्चन इज आस्किंग अस टू फाइंड देयर प्रेजेंट एजेस. तो स्टूडेंट्स, we are supposed to find two things. So let us assume one of them as x and the other one as y. So let the present age of Manish be x years and the present age of Savita be y years. So as per our assumption, the present age of Manish is x and the present age of Savita is y. Now moving towards the first condition. The first condition, sum of the present ages of Manish and Savita is 31. So students, condition भी पढ़ेंगे part by part and we'll frame the equation part by part. Condition says sum of. Can you tell me SUM stands for what? Very good. Addition. Addition of what? The present ages of Manish. Can you tell me हमने Manish का present age कितना assume किया है? X. Very good. And the present age of Savita. What have we assumed the present age of Savita as? Y. Perfect. So x plus y. And further the condition says is 31. Can you tell me, students, what does is stands for? Equal to. Perfect. Equal to 31. So as per the first condition, we get the first equation, students, that is x plus y equal to 31. Look at the equation, whether this equation is present in its basic form. Yes, because alphabet wale present hai on the left hand side and the constant is on the right hand side. So we'll number this equation as equation number 1. Now moving towards the second condition, students. Now the second condition is an important condition. Everybody look at the second condition very carefully. The second condition says Manish's age 3 years ago was 4 times the age of Savita. Now students, in this condition, they are not talking about the present ages. वो लोग मनीषा एंड सविता के प्रेजेंट एज के बारे में बात नहीं कर रहे हैं. They are talking about their ages 3 years ago. Now students, 3 years ago. First of all, tell me, if I say, just an example, if I say that I am 30 years old, 30. Present, my age is 30 years. So if present my age is 30 years and if I say, what was my age 3 years ago? What would be your answer, students? Very good, 27. क्या किया हमने? 30 में से 3 को माइनस किया. तो मतलब If we want our age 3 years ago, students, so what we need to do is from the present age, we need to subtract 3. So using the same logic, students, if I say that 3 years ago, अभी मुझे मनीष का एज ढूंढना है, तो do we have मनीष का present age? Yes. What is it? X. So from present age, if I subtract 3, तो I will get his age 3 years ago. तो present age में से subtract करना है 3, तो it will be x minus. Absolutely correct. So Manish ka age 3 years ago would be x minus 3 years. I hope so, students. This logic is clear to each and every student. Exactly in the same manner, students, 3 years ago. Now, if I want to find Savita's age, so in that case, do we have Savita's present age? Yes, Y years. Now I want her age 3 years ago. So for that, from the present age, what will you subtract? Absolutely correct. So in that case, Savita's age 3 years ago would become y minus 3 years. I hope so. दोनों का 3 years ago वाला age कैसे find out किया? It is quite clear to each and every student. So now with these ages, let us complete the second condition. Now the second condition says Manish's age 3 years ago. Can you tell me what was Manish's age 3 years ago? X minus 3 years. Okay, was. Now, students, the way IS is stands for equal to, exactly in the same manner was also stands for equal to. 4 times. I think this we are very well aware. Can you tell me what does 4 times mean? Very good. 4 into age of Savita. They are talking about Savita's age 3 years ago. So can you tell me, students, what was Savita's age 3 years ago? Y minus 3. Perfect. So with this, we get the second equation as per the second condition. Students, let us simplify it further. X minus 3 will remain as it is. Now this 4 is getting multiplied with the entire bracket. So 4 into y will give us 4y. Minus 4 threes are will give us 12. Keeping x as it is. Now students, 4y is there on the right hand side. If it comes on the left hand side, it will become minus 4y. Keeping minus 12 as it is. Now the constant 3 is present with a negative sign on the left hand side. If it goes on the right hand side, it becomes plus 3. So now see, students, keeping x minus 4y as it is, minus 12 plus 3 will give us how much? Minus 9. So students, now tell me whether the equation is present in its basic form. Yes, because alphabet wale hai on the left hand side and the constant is on the right hand side. So let us number this equation as equation number 2. I hope so, students. The formation of both the equations according to the two conditions of the question is clear to everyone. Exactly 3 minutes, students. Copy down this much portion of the solution. Last 1 minute, students. All right. Stop writing, students. Okay. Now, students, let us proceed towards the next word problem. Practice set 1.5. Question number 6. A sum carrying weightage of 4 marks. Students, an important word problem from your examination point of view. I want every one of you to read the question together now. Start. Out of 1900 kilometer, Vishal traveled some distance by bus and some by aeroplane. Now, bus travels with average speed 60 kilometer per hour, and the average speed of aeroplane is 700 kilometer per hour. It takes 5 hours to complete the journey. Find the distance we shall travel by bus. Now, students, I want every one of you to look at the last statement in this question. Find the distance Vishal traveled by bus. The question here involves an individual जिसका नाम है विशाल. Vishal is going from one place to another. Okay. But the only thing is, students, if you'll read the question very carefully, the statement says that Vishal traveled some distance by bus and some by aeroplane. Means उसने जितना भी distance travel किया है from one place to other, he has not traveled it by the same means of transport. उसने कुछ distance cover किया है by bus and the remaining distance by aeroplane. लेकिन बस से उसने कितना डिस्टेंस कवर किया है एंड थ्रू एरोप्लेन उसने कितना डिस्टेंस कवर किया है, वी आर नॉट अवेयर ऑफ इट. तो फॉर द टाइम बीइंग स्टूडेंट्स, लेट अस अज्यूम द डिस्टेंस ट्रेवल्ड बाय बस बी x किलोमीटर and the distance traveled by aeroplane be y किलोमीटर. तो अब मुझे सम को सॉल्व करके स्टूडेंट्स आई नीड टू फाइंड द वैल्यू ऑफ x. All right, take care. So now students, if you look at the first statement given in the question says out of 1900 kilometer, means it's very clear that Vishal is covering a journey of 1900 kilometer. So out of 1900 kilometer, Vishal traveled some distance by bus and some by aeroplane. So students, to understand this, let us consider that Vishal is traveling from place A to place B. Now, as per the given statement, out of 1900 kilometer means this total distance of AB is 1900 kilometer. Now, what Vishal is doing is this total distance of AB, that is 1900 kilometer, is traveling certain distance by bus and the remaining distance by aeroplane. So let us say that he is traveling from point A till say point C by bus. And then the remaining distance, that is from C to point B, he is traveling through aeroplane. So students, as per our assumption, हमने consider किया let the distance traveled by bus be how much kilometer? And according to this diagrammatic representation, Vishal is traveling by bus from which point to which point? A to C, means the distance A between the point A and C is x kilometer. Similarly, students, we have assumed the distance traveled by aeroplane as how much kilometer? Y kilometer. And as per the diagrammatic representation here, Vishal is traveling through aeroplane from which point to which point? C to B, means the distance from point C to B is y kilometer. Now, students, if you look at the diagrammatic representation itself, we get our first equation. Sir, ऐसे कैसे? Everyone look at the diagram very carefully. Can you all tell me what is the distance from A to C? X kilometer. What is the distance from C to B? Y kilometer. But what is the total distance from A to B? 1900 kilometer. Means, students, if we add the distance of A to C and the distance of C to B, the total has to be 1900 kilometer. So with this, we get the first equation, students. Everybody look at the equation. Is this equation present in its basic form? Yes, because alphabet wale are on the left-hand side and the constant is on the right-hand side. So we'll number this equation as equation number 1. I hope so, students. The formation of the first equation is quite clear to everyone. Now let us proceed towards the second equation, the second condition. Now, students, for the second condition, I want every one of you to read the highlighted portion. The highlighted portion says, bus travels with an average speed of 60 km per hour and the average speed of aeroplane is 700 km per hour. Students, in the first condition, they were talking about distance. Now here they are talking about speed. If you'll recollect, students, speed, distance, time, right? So means the sum here involves this concept of speed, distance, and time. So to frame the equation from the second condition, students, let us prepare a table. A table with the heading bus and aeroplane, which are the modes of transport, and distance, speed, and time. To begin with, students, can you all tell me, as per our assumption, Vishal has traveled by bus. What is the distance that he has traveled by bus? X kilometer. So the distance by bus is X kilometer. Can you all tell me, students, what is the distance that Vishal has traveled by aeroplane? Y kilometer. So by aeroplane, he has traveled Y kilometer. Taking the second parameter, speed. In the highlighted portion in the question, students, we can clearly see that bus is traveling with an average speed of how much kilometer per hour? 60 kilometer per hour. Aeroplane is traveling with a speed of how much kilometer per hour? Absolutely correct, 700 kilometer per hour. So students, distance ho gaya, speed ho gaya. What are we left out with? The time. And students, we know that the formula for time is equal to distance upon speed. What is time is equal to, students? Distance upon speed. So can you all tell me, students, through bus, what is the distance? X. What is the speed? 60. So if I want to express it as distance upon speed, तो वो कैसा लिखा जाएगा? X upon 60. So X upon 60 is the time for which mode of transport? Bus. Similarly, students, Y के लिए, मतलब aeroplane के लिए, the distance is Y, speed is 700, students. So in that case, students, if I express it in the form distance upon speed, so it would be Y upon 700. So this Y upon 700 is the time for which mode of transport? Aeroplane. So bus में time was X upon 60. Aeroplane time was Y upon 700. But students, if you look at the question very carefully, the question says it takes 5 hours to complete the journey. Means from start till the end. Means bus wala time and aeroplane wala time. So sab mila ke the total time to complete the journey is how much, students? 5 hours. So total means bus ka time plus aeroplane ka time, students, the total is 5 hours. So we get the second equation, students. X upon 60 plus Y upon 700 is equal to 5. I hope so the formation of the second equation is clear to everyone. But students, in this equation, if you look at it very carefully, हमें कुछ तो terms है जो problem देगा. Absolutely correct. The denominators. So students, to get rid of this denominator, first of all, let us see which are the denominators. First term में denominator कौन दिख रहा है? 60. Second term में denominator कौन है? 700. So to get rid of this denominator, students, let us consider the LCM. LCM of 60 and 700. 60 and 700. Let us find out the LCM, students. 2 30s is 60 and 2 350s is 700. Moving further, 2 15s is 30, 2 175s is 350. Moving further, 5 3s is 15 and 5 35s is 175. Now since 3 and 35 दोनों एक में नहीं जाएंगे, तो we'll have to consider one at a time. So 5 keeping 3 as it is, 7s will give us 35. One at a time. 3 ones is 3, keeping 7 as it is. 7, this 1 will remain as it is. 7 ones is 7. So now students, multiplying all these factors which we have got, the total comes out to 2100. So means the LCM, students, of 60 and 700 is 2100. So in that case, students, to get rid of this denominator, 60 and 700, we'll multiply throughout, we'll multiply each term by 2100. So let us multiply it. So pehla term x upon 60 will get multiplied by 2100. Second term y upon 700 will get multiplied by 2100. And the third term 5 will also get multiplied by 2100. So now students, doing the cancellation, 0 0 will get cancelled. 210 and 6. So 6 ones are 635s. Second term, students, 0 0 0 0 will get cancelled. 7 ones are 7 threes are 21. So making it simpler, students, 35 into x will give me 35x. 3 into y will give me 3y. And 5 into 2100, students, will give me 10,100. So with this, students, I get the second equation. Now, since the second equation is already in its basic form, we have numbered it as equation number 2. I hope so, students. Formation of both the equation, considering the concept of speed, distance, and time, is clear to each and every student. Now, students, what I want you to do is, I'm giving you exactly 2 minutes first. Now, here in the meantime, first I want you to copy down this much. According to the first condition, then write down the first equation and then copy down this table. Dot 2 minutes, students. Hurry. One more minute, students. All right. Now, students, according to second condition लिख करके copy down this much portion. All right. Stop writing, students. Let's take a quick break of 5 minutes and then we'll continue with the word problems. Break of 5 minutes. All right, students. Moving towards the next word problem. All right. Problem set 1, main question number 7, sum number 6. A sum carrying weightage of 4 marks. Students, I want every one of you to read the question very carefully because even this sum is an important one from examination point of view. Places A and B are 30 kilometers apart and they are on a straight road. Hamid travels from A to B on bike. At the same time, Joseph starts from B on bike, travel towards A. They meet each other after 20 minutes. If Joseph would have started from B at the same time, but in the opposite direction instead of towards A, Hamid would have caught him after 3 hours. Find the speed of Hamid and Joseph. A very simple word problem, students. But the only thing is you need to understand the meaning of each and every statement very carefully and interpret it properly. Okay. Now, students, if you'll focus on the last statement given in the question, find the speed of Hamid and Joseph, right? So we have been asked two things, speed of Hamid and speed of Joseph. So now since we have been asked two things, students, let us assume one as X and the other one as Y. So the assumption statements would be, let the speed of Hamid be X kilometer per hour and speed of Joseph be Y kilometer per hour. तो now as per my assumption students, Hamid का speed है X kilometer per hour and Joseph का speed है Y kilometer per hour. Moving further, the question states that places A and B are 30 kilometers apart. Means there are two places, A and B. And the distance between these two places is 30 kilometers. All right, moving further. Hamid travels from A to B on bike. Means from point A, Hamid is traveling on bike and he is moving towards point B. Further, at the same time, Joseph starts from B on bike and travel towards A. At the same time, when Hamid is starting from point A, Joseph is starting from point B and Joseph is moving towards A. Now, in that case, students, when they are moving towards each other, let us say that they are meeting at, say, point C. But what the question wants to say about this is that they meet each other after 20 minutes. It means कि हमिद को A से C तक आने के लिए 20 मिनट्स लगा एंड जोसेफ को B से C तक आने के लिए 20 मिनट्स लगा. I hope so, students. Whatever diagrammatic representation is there in front of you, it is quite clear to each and every student. Now, as far as this is concerned, if you look at it very carefully, the distance between A to B is 30 kilometers. Hamid ko A se C tak aane ke liye, he has taken 20 minutes. And Joseph to travel from B to C has taken 20 minutes. The same thing has been represented here, students. Distance between point A and point B is 30 kilometers. Hamid को A से C तक आने के लिए 20 minutes लगा है and Joseph को B से C तक आने के लिए 20 minutes लगा है. Now, students, usually if you all remember, kilometer, speed, distance, time, kilometer distance का अगर unit होता है, in that case, time is considered in terms of hours. But here, time has been given in terms of minutes. First, we'll have to convert this minute in terms of hours. So in that case, students, 20 minute is equal to, अब अगर मुझे मिनट को आवर्स में कन्वर्ट करना है स्टूडेंट्स, तो वी डिवाइडेड बाय 60. तो इन दैट केस स्टूडेंट्स, 20 minute would be equal to 20 upon 60 hours. If I do the cancellation, 20 ones are, 20 threes are. So it becomes 1 upon 3 hours. So remember students, 20 minute is equivalent to 1 upon 3 hour. And minute को अगर hours में convert करना है तो we need to divide it by what students? 60. Perfect. So in that case students, A से C तक जो 20 minutes दिख रहा है, let us replace it by 1 upon 3 hour. And C से B तक जो 20 minutes दिख रहा है, let us replace it by 1 upon 3 hours. I hope so. This much portion is clear to each and every student. Now moving further students, let us prepare a table to frame the first equation. The question here is involving two individuals, that is Hamid and Joseph. To begin with, the same three parameters, that is speed, distance, and time. So let us start with the speed. Students, we have already assumed speed of Hamid be equal to how much kilometer per hour? Very good, x kilometer per hour. Moving further, time. Now students, tell me, in the diagrammatic representation, can you all tell me Hamid को A से C तक जाने के लिए what is the time that he has taken? Absolutely correct, 1 upon 3 hour. So in that case Hamid के लिए time would be 1 upon 3 hours. Speed हो गया, time हो गया. Now we are left out with distance students. Now we know that students, distance is equal to speed into time. What again? Distance is equal to speed into time. Now students, can you all tell me Hamid के लिए what is the speed? X. Hamid के लिए what is the time? 1 upon 3. So speed into time, both of them are getting multiplied. So फिर Hamid के लिए distance would be 1 upon 3 into x. That is nothing but 1 upon 3x kilometer. So in that case students, Hamid ने जो distance travel किया है, that is from A to C, that is nothing but 1 upon 3x kilometer. I hope so. This portion is clear to everyone. Now exactly in the same manner students, let us solve it for Joseph. Now can you all tell me for Joseph, speed, what have we already assumed it as? Very good, y kilometer per hour. Can you all tell me for Joseph, time क्या है? जोसेफ को B से C तक आने के लिए टाइम कितना लगा था? 1 upon 3 hours. So for Joseph, time is 1 upon 3 hours. Now we know the speed, we know the time. So we can easily find the distance. Distance is speed into time. So tell me students, Joseph के लिए what is the speed? Y. Joseph के लिए what is the time? 1 upon 3. So Joseph के लिए distance would be speed into time. That is 1 upon 3 into y, which will give us 1 upon 3 y kilometer. So here in the diagram students, the distance between point B and C will become 1 upon 3 by kilometer. I hope so. This portion is quite clear to each and every student. Now students, if you look at the diagrammatic representation, our first equation is there itself. Now students, see that representation very carefully. The distance between point A and B. What is the distance between point A and B? 30 kilometer. But this entire distance AB is made up of two parts. That is distance AC, जो कितना किलोमीटर है? 1 upon 3x kilometer. And distance CB, जो कितना किलोमीटर है? 1 upon 3y kilometer. So it means students, distance AC plus distance CB will give me the total distance AB. So we'll frame the equation from this itself. That is 1 upon 3x plus 1 upon 3y is equal to the total distance, that is 30. I hope so students. How we have got the first equation is quite clear to each and every student. Am I right? But students, if you look at the equation very carefully, इस equation में again there is a problem. किसका problem है? Absolutely correct, denominator. But it is very easy. What is the denominator that you see in both the terms? 3. So to get rid of that denominator 3, let us multiply each term by 3. So now students, if I multiply each term by 3, 1 upon 3x into 3, so 3 will get cancelled. बचेगा क्या? x plus 1 upon 3y into 3, so 3 will get cancelled. बचेगा क्या? y. 30 into 3 will give us how much? 90. So here we get our first equation, students. Students, check whether this equation is present in its basic form. Yes, because alphabet wale is on left hand side and the constant is on the right hand side. Let us number it as equation number 1. I hope so, students. the formation of the first equation is quite clear to each and every student. Now, before we proceed towards the second equation, students, I want every one of you to copy this portion of the solution till now, the 2 lines of assumption, the table, then the 2 lines of first condition, and I want you to copy even this diagrammatic representation which is given on the screen. All right. Dot 3 minutes, students. Your time starts now. One more minute, students. All right. Stop writing, students. Now let us proceed towards the second condition, students. Let us recollect two places A and B, and these two places A and B are 30 kilometers apart. And A से Hamid start कर रहा है and he is moving towards B. Now in the second condition, what is happening is, if Joseph would have started from B at the same time, but in the opposite direction instead of towards A, means अभी भी B से Joseph start कर रहा है, but this time he is not going to move towards A. Instead, he is moving in the opposite direction, that is away from A. So in that case, students, let us say that they meet at point D. But iske बारे में what the question says is, Hamid would have caught him after 3 hours. It means कि Hamid को A से लेके D तक जाने के लिए he has taken 3 hours. And in the same time of 3 hours, Joseph has traveled from B to D. So students, again, everybody look at the diagrammatic representation very carefully. The distance between point A and B is 30 kilometers. Hamid has taken 3 hours to travel from A to D, and Joseph has taken 3 hours to travel from B to D. Indicating the same here in the representation, students. See, the total distance between A and B is 30 kilometers, जो नीचे लिखा है. Then Hamid has taken 3 hours to travel from A till point D, and Joseph has taken 3 hours to travel from point B to point D. Okay. So now students, again with the help of this representation, let us put the things in the table and frame the second equation. Again, the same format of the table, two individuals, Hamid and Joseph, and the same three parameters, that is speed, time, and distance. To begin with, students, Hamid का speed कितना हमने assume किया है? X kilometer per hour. All right. Now, can you all tell me, students, Hamid के लिए time? Look at the diagram. Hamid को A से D तक जाने के लिए कितना टाइम लगा है? 3 hours. So the time is 3. तो स्पीड हो गया, टाइम हो गया. नाउ वी वांट द डिस्टेंस, एंड द फॉर्मूला फॉर डिस्टेंस इज स्पीड इनटू टाइम. तो इन दैट केस स्टूडेंट्स, हमें के लिए स्पीड इज x, टाइम इज 3. तो स्पीड इनटू टाइम, 3 इनटू x विल गिव अस 3x किलोमीटर. तो इन दैट केस स्टूडेंट्स, A से D तक का जो 3 आवर्स दिख रहा है, दैट इज एक्चुअली हाउ मच किलोमीटर? इट इज 3x किलोमीटर. I hope so. This portion is quite clear to each and every student. Now moving further, students, the same thing we'll calculate it for Joseph. Now for Joseph, the speed, how much as we assume the speed as students? Y kilometer per hour. All right. Moving towards time. In the diagram, how much time has Joseph taken to travel from point B to point D? 3 hours. All right. Now let us calculate the distance, students. Same speed into time. So in that case, speed is y, time is 3. So distance would be 3y kilometer. तो in that case, students, B से लेके D तक जो जोसेफ गया था, जहां पर उसको जाने के लिए 3 hours लगा था, that distance is actually how much, students? 3y kilometer. Now, students, if you look at the diagram very carefully, all terms are in terms of kilometer itself. So now we can easily add them. So now look at the diagram very carefully, students. So according to the second condition, the entire distance AD, it is of 3x kilometer. But that entire distance AD is made up of two parts. First one is AB, and that AB is how much kilometers, students? 30 kilometers. And the remaining portion BD is how much kilometer? 3y kilometer. So in that case, students, if we combine the distance of AB and BD, in that case, we get the total distance of AD. So in that case, students, we get that 3x kilometer, which is there, the total distance, it is made up of two parts. One is AB, which is 30 kilometer, and the other one is BD, which is 3y kilometer. So now, students, bringing this equation in the basic form, keeping 3x as it is, plus 3y, if it comes on the other side, it will become minus 3y, equal to 30 as it is. Now, students, just focus on the numbers which are there in the equation. 3, 3, and 30. Can I say all these three numbers are divisible by 3? So to make the equation simpler, let us divide throughout by 3. Now, if I divide throughout by 3, students, if I divide 3x by 3, 3 and 3 will get cancelled. We are left out with only x, minus sign as it is. If we divide 3y by 3, 3 and 3 will get cancelled. We are left out with y. Then if we divide 30 by 3, students, 3 ones are, 3 tens are, so we are left out with 10. So now see students, is this equation present in its basic form? Yes, because alphabet wale are on the left hand side and the constant is on the right hand side. So let us number this equation as equation number 2. I hope so, student. The formation of the second equation is quite clear to each and every student. Now again, what I wanted to do is just draw that table, then the diagrammatic representation, and below that, according to that second condition, ke 3 lines. This much you need to copy it down. Dot 3 minutes. Your time starts now, students. One more minute, students. All right. Stop writing, students. Now moving further, students. Now we are done with all the word problems which were there in this particular chapter. Okay. Now let us proceed towards the multiple choice questions. Take care. Now here, students, you all are going to help me out since we have already learned all the concepts that were there in this particular chapter. Now the MCQs are based on the concepts that we have already learned. Okay. So you are going to answer for the MCQ, students. Choose the correct alternative for each of the following question. The very first question says, to draw the graph of 4x plus 5y is equal to 90. Find y when x equal to 1. Oh, this is very simple. In fact, हम लोग जब graphical method solve करते हैं, graph में एक table बनाते हैं, where one value we assume it on our own, and the second value we find it out by putting that value in the equation. So that is what they have asked. So in that case, students, let us consider the equation which is given in the question. 4x plus 5y is equal to 90. Now for this, they have given us the value of x. What is the value of x? 1. So in that case, keeping 4 as it is, x के जगह पे डालेंगे 1, keeping rest everything as it is, plus 5y is equal to 90. So solving it further, students, tell me 4 ones का कितना देगा? 4 plus 5y as it is equal to 19. Now students, keeping 5y as it is equal to 19 as it is, plus 4, if it goes on the other side, it will become minus 4. Keeping 5y as it is, 19 minus 4 will give us how much, students? Very good. It will give us 15. So therefore, y would be equal to 15 upon 5. 5 ones are, 5 kitne are? 3s are 15. So in that case, we get the value of y as 3. So students, A, B, C, D. A के लिए option was 4, B के लिए option was 3, C के लिए option is 2, D के लिए option is minus 3. So which is the correct option? Very good. B, that is 3. All right. I hope so. Okay, how we have got this answer for option B is quite clear to each and every student. Moving towards the next question, students. The second question says, for simultaneous equations in variable x and y, dx is equal to 49, dy is equal to minus 63, d is equal to 7, then what is the value of x? Students, when we are reading the question, dx, dy, d, ये सब कौन से मेथड में आता है? Absolutely correct. Cramer's rule. So means here they are talking about Cramer's rule. But what are they asking us to find? They are asking us to find the value of x. Now we are very well aware that by Cramer's rule, if we want to find the value of x, can you tell me, students, what is the formula to find out the value of x? Very good. It is dx upon d. So in that case, students, x is equal to dx upon d. So let us put the values. Dx, what is the value of dx which has been given to us? 49. What is the value of d which has been given to us? 7. So if we go ahead with the cancellation, 7 ones are, 7 sevens are. So the value of x would be how much, students? 7. So we get the value of x as 7. So can you tell me which option is the correct option? Option A. I hope so, students. See how simple the MCQs are. All right. Okay. So moving towards the next one. Find the value of the determinant. The students. Now this is very easy. Determinant diya hai. Which are the numbers in the determinant? 5, minus 7, 3, and minus 4. And we are supposed to find the value of this determinant. Now, students, I think, how do we find the value of the determinant? Can you recollect it? Very good. Diagonally, starting from the first number. So can you tell me is determinant mein first number kaun hai? 5. And on that diagonal, which is the other number? Minus 4. Now, both these numbers will get what? Multiply. So it will be 5 into minus 4. Then minus, which are the two numbers on the other diagonal? 3 and minus 7. Now, these two numbers will also get what? Multiply. So 3 into minus 7. So solving it further, students, 5 into minus 4 will give us how much? Minus 20. Keeping minus sign as it is. 3 into minus 7 will give us how much? Minus 21. Keeping minus 20 as it is. Minus into minus would be what, students? Plus. Okay, so it would be plus 21. Minus 20 plus 21 will give us how much? Plus 1. Very good. So can you tell me, students, in that case, which would be the correct option? A, B, C, or D? Very good. D is the correct option. All right. Moving towards the next question, students. To solve x plus y is equal to 3 and 3x minus 2y minus 4 is equal to 0, by determinant method, find D. So students, here they have given us two linear equations. The first one, x plus y is equal to 3. Now this equation is present in its basic form. So let us number it as equation 1. Second equation, 3x minus 2y minus 4 is equal to 0. Now students, tell me whether this equation is present in its basic form. No, because constant जो होना चाहिए on the right hand side, it is there on the left hand side. So let us just shift that constant, keeping 3x minus 2y as it is, and the constant goes on the other side. So minus 4 अगर उधर गया तो it becomes plus 4. Now it is there in its basic form because alphabet wale are on the left hand side and the constant is on the right hand side. So now let us number it as equation 2. So now students, the question is asking us to solve this by Cramer's rule. But पूरा solve नहीं करना है. They just want the value of determinant D. So determinant D. So let us prepare only determinant D. I think we are very well aware which are the 4 numbers that the determinant D contains. Absolutely correct. Coefficients of x and y. But remember students, while while taking up the coefficients, if the coefficient is having a negative sign, so make sure that we are considering that negative sign. So in that case, students, let us start with the alphabet x. Can you tell me in equation 1, what is the coefficient of x? 1. In equation 2, what is the coefficient of x? 3. So the coefficients of x are 1 and 3. All right. Moving further, let us consider alphabet y. In equation 1, what is the coefficient of y? Kuch nahi hai, so the number is 1. In equation 2, what is the coefficient of y? Absolutely correct, minus 2. So in that case, coefficients of y are 1 and minus 2. Very good. So now we need to find the value of this determinant and we have just revised it, students. How do we find the value of the determinant? Diagonally, starting from the first number. So which is the first number in this determinant? 1. तो उसके साथ diagonally दूसरा number कौन सा है? Minus 2. Both these numbers will get what? Multiplied. So it will be 1 into minus 2. Minus, which are the numbers on the other diagonal? 1 and 3. What will these numbers become? Sorry, what will these numbers get? Multiplied. All right. So 1 into 3. So now students, solving it further, 1 into minus 2 will give us what? Minus 2, keeping minus sign as it is. 1 into 3 will give us how much? 3. Minus 2 minus 3 will give us how much? Minus 5. So in that case, students, we get the value of determinant D, that is minus 5. So can you tell me out of A, B, C, and D, which would be the correct option? Absolutely correct. C is the correct option. I hope so, students. Up till now, whichever MCQs that we have solved, it is quite clear to each and every student. Now we are moving towards the next MCQ, the last MCQ in this chapter. But in this last MCQ, students, there is a small concept that we need to understand. So first, let us try to understand that concept and then let us proceed towards the last MCQ of this chapter. So now, students, to understand that concept, I'm giving you all 2 equations. Okay. The first equation is x plus y is equal to minus 3. And the second equation is x minus y is equal to minus 1. Now, if I ask you all to solve these 2 equations by any method, except for the graphical method, okay, by any method, say, okay, and to get the values of x and y. So supposingly we have solved this equation by elimination by equating the coefficient. And on getting the values, we get the value of x as minus 2 and the value of y as minus 1. So students, for x and y, we are getting only one value each. So when we get only one value for x and y, we say that the equations are having unique solution. What do we say, students? The equations are having unique solution. X का भी एक ही आंसर मिला, y का भी एक ही आंसर मिला, which will satisfy both the equations. And students, if we draw the graph for such type of equations where they are having only unique solution, जब ऐसे इक्वेशंस जिनका यूनिक सोल्यूशन होता है, अगर उनका ग्राफ पे हम लोग स्ट्रेट लाइन ड्रॉ करते हैं, तो ऑन द ग्राफ वी ऑलवेज गेट इंटरसेक्टिंग लाइंस, मींस ऐसे लाइंस व्हिच विल इंटरसेक्ट ईच अदर एट वन एंड ओनली वन पॉइंट. तो स्टूडेंट्स, आई होप दिस कॉन्सेप्ट इज वेरी क्लियर. So for equations which have unique solution, if you represent them on the graph, on the graph you will get intersecting lines. Moving further, let us consider two more equations now. The first equation, 2x minus y is equal to 1. Second equation, 2x minus y is equal to 4. Let us solve it by elimination by equating the coefficients, students. When we solve it and if we subtract the two equations, while subtracting the students, if you look at it very carefully, plus 2x minus 2x cancel, minus y plus y cancel, तो मतलब कोई अल्फाबेट बचा ही नहीं. तो अगर कोई अल्फाबेट बचा ही नहीं, will we get any answer? No, so we'll not get any answer. So in that case, such kind of equations will have no solution. Answer ही नहीं आ रहा है, तो there is no solution. और जब ऐसे type of equations which do not have any solution, if you represent them on the graph, students, their lines will always be parallel lines. Once again, I repeat, whenever you will represent such kind of equations, those who are having no solution, so on the graph, then in that case, on the graph, you will always get parallel lines. I hope so. The first two conditions for unique solution, intersecting lines, no solution, parallel lines is clear to everyone. Now moving towards the third and the last category, students. Let us consider two more equations. Equation 1, x minus y is equal to 2. Equation 2, 2x minus 2y is equal to 4. Students, look at both the equations very carefully. जो पहला equation है ना, x minus y is equal to 4. Supposingly, if I multiply all the terms by 2, 2 into x, 2x, नीचे वाले के पास भी है. 2 into y, 2y, नीचे वाले equation में भी है. 2 into 2, 4, नीचे वाले equation में भी है. Means, actually, if we multiply the first equation throughout by 2, we are getting the second equation. On the other hand, students, supposingly अगर second equation में, if I divide each term by 2, I divide each term by 2, तो 2x upon 2, 2 and 2 will get cancelled, सिर्फ x बचेगा, जो ऊपर वाले equation में भी है. 2y upon 2, 2 and 2 will get cancelled, सिर्फ y बचेगा, वो भी ऊपर वाले equation में है. Is equal to 4 upon 2, 2 ones are 2, 2s are 2 बचेगा, वो भी ऊपर वाले equation में है. So it means it is nothing but if I divide each term by 2, I get the first equation itself. Means actually, students, both these equations are one and the same. Are you getting it? So in that case, students, for such kind of equations, we will have infinite solutions. Means we'll have many solutions. Now, when we say students, we'll have infinite solutions. और अगर ऐसे equations का, if you represent the equations on the graph, students, you will always get overlapping lines. All right, students. So remember, for such kind of equations where you have infinite solution, if you represent them on the graph, so in that case, you will always have what? Overlapping lines. I hope so, students. All these three conditions is clear to everyone. So remember, for unique solution, मतलब एक ही answer, the lines will be intersecting. No solution, no answer, the lines will be parallel. For infinite solution, many answers, the lines will be overlapping lines. Now, students, if we try to understand the same three concepts with the help of Cramer's rule, students, to remember, for unique solution, मतलब intersecting lines वाले category के लिए, the value of determinant D will never be 0. Means D will not be equal to 0. So for whichever sums you get D not equal to 0, to remember, for those equations, you will have unique solution, and for those equations, you will have intersecting lines. Similarly, for no solution or parallel lines wala situation, students, D will be equal to 0. But dx will not be equal to 0. So while solving by Cramer's rule, students, if you get the value of d as 0, but dx is not 0, so remember that those equations will have no solution, means the lines will be parallel lines. And finally, students, by Cramer's rule, if you get the value of d as 0 and you get the value of dx as also 0, So in that case, remember students, those equations will have infinite solution, means they are overlapping lines. I hope so, students. Whatever we have discussed now is clear to each and every student. So remember, for unique solution, intersecting lines means dx is not 0, sorry, d is not 0. No solution, parallel lines means d is 0, but dx is not 0. And for infinite solution means overlapping line, students, d is 0 as well as dx is 0. So I want students, I'm giving you 2 minutes. Just write down the heading, unique solution intersecting line. By Cramer's rule, D is not 0. No solution parallel lines. By Cramer's rule, D is 0, but dx is not 0. Infinite solution overlapping line. By Cramer's rule, D is also 0, dx is also 0. Just write down this much portion. Dot 2 minutes. Your time starts now. One more minute, students. All right. Stop writing, students. Now let us proceed towards the last MCQ, which is based on this concept. The question says, ax plus by is equal to c, and mx plus ny is equal to d, and an is not equal to bn. Then these simultaneous equations have, the options are only one common solution, no solution, infinite number of solution, only two solution. So your only one solution means unique solution, no solution, infinite solution. So it is clear that this MCQ is based on the concept that we have just learned. So in that case, students, let us consider both the equations which have been given in the question. Ax plus by is equal to c, and mx plus ny is equal to d. Students, let us try to solve this equation by Cramer's rule. By Cramer's rule, students, now if I frame the determinant d, we are very well aware that determinant d contains the coefficients of x and y. Can you tell me, students, coefficients of x? Equation 1 what is the coefficient of x? A. Equation 2 what is the coefficient of x? M. The coefficient of x are A and M. So I'll write down A and M. Moving further, coefficients of Y. Equation 1 में, what is the coefficient of Y? B. Equation 2 में, what is the coefficient of Y? N. So the coefficient of Y are B and N. So let us write down B and N. So now students, I need to find the value of this determinant. How do we find the value of the determinant? Diagonally, starting from the first number. So which is the first number here in this determinant? A. So in that case, students, if I solve it, A ke saath diagonally, which is the other number? N. So in that case, both these will get multiplied. So A into N, that is AN. Now students, which are the two other terms on the other diagonal? B and M. So now these two terms will get multiplied. So B into M will give us Bn. So students, we get the value of D, determinant D, as An minus Bn. Now for the time being, students, everybody look at the question very carefully. The question says that An is not equal to Bn. An is not equal to Bn. It is given to us in the question. So students, if An is not equal to Bn, Bn there is with a positive sign, that is plus sign. If it comes on the other side of not equal to sign, it will be minus Bn. So An minus Bn is not equal to, अब इधर कोई नहीं बचा, तो it will be 0. So An minus Bm is not equal to 0. But students, if you'll just look at the line above that, An minus Bm is nothing but the value of determinant D. So in place of An minus Bm, I will put capital D, that is determinant D is not equal to 0. And here I get the answer, students. Now tell me, if D is not equal to 0, so for this condition, whether we'll have unique solution, no solution, or infinite solution, very good, we'll have unique solution. But students, if you look at the option, do we have unique solution there? No. We have only one common solution. Unique solution का मतलब वही होता है एक answer. That is only one common solution. So here, students, can you tell me which would be the correct option? Absolutely correct. A would be the correct option. That is only one common solution. Now, students, I'm giving you exactly 1 minute. I want every one of you to write down the solution for this particular MCQ. Dot 1 minute, students. Your time starts now. All right. Done, students? Take. So now with this, students, we are done with the entire chapter number 1, linear equation in two variables. See, students, this chapter is very, 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 very simple and a very scoring chapter in your algebra textbook. All right. And before we wind up for today, students, just a few important instructions. Kindly listen to it very carefully. We hope that you have already received the timetable for the unit test that we are going to conduct henceforth on every Sunday to Sunday. Okay. Kindly make sure that you are putting your 100% efforts for each and every paper, because the marks that you score in your unit test is also very important. All right. And at the same time, students, just a reminder, as it has already been informed, that tomorrow you'll be having your Sanskrit and French lecture. By today, end of the day, you will get the meeting ID and password details, okay, from your respective heads of the center, because tomorrow's Sanskrit and French lecture, which will be there, it will be through Zoom app. And it has already been informed to you, students, that from coming Monday onwards, for next 2 weeks, kindly make sure that we are going to conduct the lectures through Zoom app only. We want you all to realize exactly what is the difference that is there through the Zoom app, learning through Zoom app, and learning through webinar. All right. That's all from our end, students. Thank you very much. PPT में है हाँ